On today's episode of Chicago Bears Now, we take a look at Week 4 of the NFL season as the Bears return home to Soldier Field for the first time since Week 1. They will play host to the Denver Broncos, a pair of struggling 0-3 teams, and obviously for the Bears, in desperate need of a victory in Week 4. And if you look at the start of the season for each of these squads, not pretty, especially for Chicago. In Week 1, all that hype, all that buildup, all that belief that we had just to get smoked by Green Bay. Once again, FGB in the comments, you guys know what the deal is, 38-20 there. Sort of competitive in Week 2, but ultimately lost by 10 at Tampa Bay. And then we all saw what happened in Week 3 at Arrowhead Stadium, a 41-10 loss to the Chiefs, 41-0 entering the fourth quarter. For the Broncos, well, they've at least been competitive in 2 games. Now, they also have suffered the worst loss between the two teams. Week 1, lost by 1 point to the Raiders. Week 2, blew a big lead to the Commanders, lost by 2. And then Week 3, this is like Ohio State versus Akron type of stuff. 70-20 loss at the Miami Dolphins. You're giving up 70 points in an NFL game, losing by 50. That is unheard of. And I do want to say this for Denver's sake. Week 3 was ugly, but Denver's been more competitive than Kansas City. They had real chances to win their first 2 games, whereas the Chiefs never really did. Sure, they had a chance to beat Tampa, got the ball down 3 late, deep inside their own territory, but you never felt like they were going to win that game while watching it, whereas Denver easily could be 2-1. So, yeah, last week was ugly for Denver. Not like it was pretty for Chicago. Gave up 41 points to Kansas City. So be real with me. What do you think? Will the Bears beat the Broncos this week? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'll have my official score prediction and win-loss prediction at the end of this video, so stick with us here on Chicago Bears Now. All right, Bears, Broncos, join our live watch party on Sunday. Kickoff at noon Central. We'll be live at 10:45 a.m. Central Time. We're going live for every single game. I don't care if the Bears are 0-16. You bet your ass we'll be live for that 17th game. We're not going anywhere. Subscribe. Join us. Videos every single day. Watch parties every single game day as well. Okay, what to know about Denver? Looking at the opponent a little bit here. Obviously, they are 0-3. Sean Payton is their head coach. A lot of hype around that. And to his credit, the offense has actually been decent. He does run West Coast system, quick passing game, which was obviously a question mark with Russell Wilson, who likes to hold on to the ball and extend plays. We'll talk about Russ in a second. Defensive scheme, Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator, they run a 3-4. They blitz a lot. They've not been able to get home a lot, though. So even though they're one of the more higher blitzing teams, they have not been super effective at that so far. Again, middle of the pack scoring offense right now, and the scoring defense atrocious. I mean, obviously the 70-point skews it a little bit, but they gave up 35 to Washington as well. It's been really bad the past couple of weeks for Denver's defense. We'll dive deeper into that unit here in a little bit as well. And you look at Russell Wilson, who is under the microscope this season after a disappointing first year in Denver. He's actually played some solid football. He's completing 65% of his passes, over 250 passing yards per week. So far, 6-2 touchdown-interception ratio, rating right at 100. He's running a little bit, 57 rush yards. He's not quite as quick as he used to be, but he has not been their problem. Is he peak Russ? No, he's not. But he's playing better football than he did last year, and he's actually executing Sean Payton's offense at a pretty decent level. And, you know, Russell earlier in his career, more deep balls, more break and contain, throwing the ball downfield. Maybe shifting to this quick passing attack is actually beneficial for him at this point for a guy who isn't as mobile, it doesn't have as strong as an arm as he once did. Now, what is the problem for Denver right now is the defense. I mean, they've had some defensive woes early on, which doesn't really make sense because on paper, they should have a top 10, if not a top 5 defense based on personnel. Total defense, that's a typo for me, giving up over 450 yards per game, dead last in the NFL. Scoring defense, almost 41 points per game, dead last in the NFL. Passing defense, 29th. Rushing defense, 32nd. They only have 1 takeaway. That's tied for 30th in the NFL. Only 2 teams do not yet have a takeaway. It really should be 3 because the Bears only have 2, but they were both off of Blaine Gabbert last week, so I don't know how much that really counts. The Bears should be able to score. That is the point I'm trying to make. They should be able to score. Now, do I expect 70 points? Hell, do I even expect 35, which Washington put up? No, but you should get 24-plus points in this game. You really should. 3 touchdowns and a field goal is not a crazy thing to ask against this defense right now. Can the Bears do it? I don't know. I don't really trust them to do it. The offense looks clunky as hell, but there are reasons to believe that the Bears should be able to score just based on the opponent. I'm going to set the over-under more or less at 20.5 points for the Bears this week. Can they score 21 or more? Can they? They haven't done it yet this year. They scored 20 in week 1, 17 in week 2, and obviously just 10 last week. If you think they're going to score more than 20.5 points, 21 or more, type M for more. If you think it's going to be less, type L for less. Let us know down in the comment section below about the Bears offense. Now, today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. They are the kings of more and less, and I will explain here. We're excited to partner up with Prize Picks. You want to spice up your game days? Get started with Prize Picks today, as Prize Picks is a skill-based, real money, daily fantasy sports game. If you're looking for a more fun way to spend your game days, look no further than Prize Picks. How does it work, you ask? Here's how. You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they will go for more or less than their Prize Picks projection, you can win up to 25 times your money on any single entry. Now, I've got a 2-pick combo here for this upcoming game on Sunday, and call me crazy, I'm going more on Justin Fields passing yards, 168.5, 167.5, whatever it says there, 168, Jack, 0.5, and then more on DJ Moore receiving yards. And you're probably saying, with this offense? Well, Justin Fields threw for over 210 yards in each of the first 2 games, so it's not like he hasn't done that. 168 against this Denver defense shouldn't be that much to ask, so I'm going more on that one. And then speaking of more on DJ Moore receiving yards. If Justin Fields hits that number, DJ Moore should as well. $20 to win 63x on this one. I feel pretty confident about it. If you go up to 6 players, you can get 25x the money. Imagine if you hit one of those. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS. Why is the code CLNS? Because I say so. It's 4 letters. You can remember it. CLNS. They will match your deposit bonus up to $100. Put in $100, they'll give you an additional $100 for free. If you want to just do $50, they'll match that up to $50 as well. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that code CLNS. That link and promo code is in the comments and description of this video. It's Prize Picks. Get started today and start earning some money. All right, some matchups to watch in this Bears-Broncos game. Justin Fields against the Broncos defense. I just mentioned the Broncos defensive woes. Like, you should be able to score. If you're going to have a breakout game this year, Justin, you feel like this has got to be it, right? Because it just hasn't been very pretty. 58% passing, 526 passing yards. That's obviously gone down per game because you only threw for 99 last week. Touchdown-interception ratio, not good. You would think he would start running more. He ran a little last week, 47 yards, but he should be over 50 every single week pretty easily. Part of that's on him. Part of that's on Getsy, the game plan. You got to move the ball this week. There's just no excuse for it. You look at this Broncos defense, some key players here. Pat Surtain, obviously, is a tough corner. We'll talk about him here in a little bit as well. Justin Simmons, one of the best safeties in the game. One of the best safety combos in the game with Kareem Jackson. Alex Singleton, a very good linebacker who's gotten better each and every year. Zach Allen, couple of sacks early this season as well. But this defense isn't playing up to par. It's not playing up to the name recognition that they have. Fields must play well this week. You're at home. Your back's against the wall. You're 0-3. Not even because you're trying to salvage making the playoffs this season, just because you're trying to stabilize yourself as a franchise, as a quarterback in this league. You've lost 13 in a row, man. The Denver Broncos are not playing good football. Like, this is as good of a chance to win a game as you're going to have in a while. You got to play well this week if you're Justin Fields. You need to go out there and execute and win this game. All right, number 2, a battle of the trenches. That's obviously key in any game, but these are 2 offensive and defensive lines that, in my opinion, aren't really standing out, right? The Bears only have 1 sack defensively. That was Yannick Ngakoue in week 1. He had 2 more chances in week 2, could not finish. never got close to Mahomes in week 3. And on the flip side, they've given up 13 sacks. Now, a good chunk of those is Justin Fields holding onto the ball too long, but it's not like this offensive line, especially with the injuries, is scaring anybody. Denver Broncos, they have 4 sacks in 3 games. Not much better, but obviously better. They've also given up 10 sacks, so they're not protecting super well. So which offensive and defensive line can play better in this one? That could determine the outcome. Now, obviously, it's tough for the Bears' offensive line right now. Braxton Jones on IR, Tevin Jenkins on IR. Doug Kramer's not a starter, but that hurts your depth. Nate Davis been dealing with that personal issue. He's not actually dealing with an injury, but he hasn't played in a few weeks, hasn't practiced much. We'll see if they put him back out there this week or not. Who knows? The Bears' defensive line, when you look at things, Yannick Ngakoue, I'm looking at you. You got to generate some pressure. Is DeMarcus Walker going to make a play? Andrew Billings has actually been pretty good, but he's not someone you can rely as a consistent pass rusher. Like, somebody has got to do it. So we'll see what happens here. Can the Bears' offensive line hold up? That's question number 1. And can their defensive line get pressure on Russell Wilson? That is question number 2, because if not, going to be another long day, man. I mean, that is the bottom line. The trenches have not been good enough, and this is a rare matchup remaining on the schedule where you're not going up against an offensive and defensive line, at least how they're playing right now. That's exactly murderer's row. I mean, you should have a chance to compete in those areas. Race to 50 subscribers. New subscribers here. We have a Broncos channel at Chat Sports. They're starting this challenge today. We're starting it today. Which channel comes out on top? Which channel can get 50 new subscribers first? Help us out if you're a Bears fan by hitting that subscribe button. If we're not going to beat the Broncos on the field, which I think the Bears at least have a chance of doing that, let's beat them inside the Chat Sports walls here at the company. So if you want daily Bears videos, subscribe. And if you want to win this competition, hit that sub button. All right, another matchup to watch. DJ Moore versus Patrick Surtain. Good on good for these two guys, as DJ Moore, who had a bad drop last week, but is clearly your best offensive player. He needs more targets, man. 15 targets in 3 games it's just ridiculous. Has 11 catches for $170 and a touchdown. I mean, you could make a very strong argument that those targets should be doubled. I mean, he should have 30 targets through 3 games. I keep saying it, 10-plus targets per week. Well, they can't find him the football. I don't get it. Pat Surtain, however, as good of a player he is, he actually hasn't really played that well this year, especially last week. He's given up 50% completion, which isn't bad, but he's given up some chunk plays. Passer rating when targeted, 108. That's not very good. Does have the 3 breakups, but no interceptions, and he got torched last week. I get it. Tyreek Hill's a tough matchup, but he got torched. That Dolphins offense torched that Broncos defense. I'm not expecting, again, the Bears to put up 30, 40, 50 points or anything like that, but there should be opportunities for Justin Fields, DJ Moore in this offense to go out there and put up some numbers. Who's the better overall player in this league? Type DJ if you think it's DJ Moore. If you think it's Patrick Surtain, the second, type PS. I think a lot of people would say Surtain, but right now I think I might lean DJ Moore. Surtain has not played well this year, so what say you, DJ for DJ Moore or PS for Patrick Surtain? All right, we get to some keys to victory now for Chicago. You got to win the turnover battle. I know it's an obvious one, but you have just not been able to take the football away. I know you've got 2, but they're both in garbage time off of Blaine Gabbert against the Chiefs. You have not taken the football away from a starting quarterback. You just have to. Like, you've got to take the football away, and when you don't get pressure, it's hard. It's going to be another long day if they can't do it. So I don't know what you need to do, Matt Eberflus. Blitz more. Try some different players out there. Mix up coverages. I don't know. But just bringing 4, dropping 7, sitting in this Tampa 2 all the time, like it's just it's not getting the job done. So you've certainly got to find a way to generate some turnovers. Maybe you got to get one on special teams. I don't know. But it's been ugly up to this point. Number 2, stay with the running game. Run the football. I thought they had a couple of nice runs with their running backs early last week, and then again, you don't see them stick with it. I don't understand. I get the game got out of whack, but it's not like it was out of whack 2 drives in. I mean, the Chiefs didn't even score on their first drive last week. Roschon Johnson's averaging 5.3 yards per carry. Khalil Herbert's averaging 4 yards per carry, which isn't incredible, but it's not negative either. Run the football with your running backs. I do not understand. Your quarterback is struggling. You need to shorten the game by controlling the clock. Oh, we're not going to run the football. It's stupid. Run the football. That should open up some other stuff as well. And then number 3, it's just kind of a generic one, but based on how this team has gone, dating back to last season, you got to get out in front early. Like, you got to get a lead. You got to get the crowd into it. You got to generate some energy because it's been ugly, man. You've lost 13 games in a row. The Bears have only led this season in the 3 games they've played, which is 180 total minutes, 10 minutes and 24 seconds. I was surprised it was that much. Remember against Tampa, they gave up the field goal, got the touchdown to go up, and then it took a couple of drives for Tampa to get back out in front. But still, even with that, 10 minutes out of 180 you've led this year, I mean, this is the NFL. This isn't college football, FCS opponent going up against Power 5 teams. Like, you got to be more competitive than this. Those are some losing numbers. And then building off of that, you just need confidence, man. I mean, how many times this season do you see the TV cameras just panning the Bears sideline when they get down in these games? The energy's just gone. The belief is gone. Like, early lead, I think, would go a long way for this team. Like, can you be in front at halftime? Like, seriously, I don't care if it's 10-7. I don't care if it's 14-10. I don't care if it's 3-0. Can you be out in front when halftime gets here? Because you got to get into that locker room feeling like you have a real chance of winning, because it's been a while since that's been the case. Even against Green Bay and Tampa, when those games were close at halftime, you felt like you were getting your ass kicked. That's got to stop. You got to be more competitive early on in these games, because it's clear when the Bears start losing, when things start falling apart, you see those shoulders slumping. You see that here we go again mindset kicking in on the sideline, and that's just not healthy for this team right now. So hopefully they're able to get out, start fast, and get an early lead. I don't expect perfect football. This team has got such a long way to go, but can you play just a little cleaner, a little better early, get some of that juice going? I think that would be really, really nice. Broncos, 3-point favorites. Total over-under between the two teams is 46. So the good folks in Vegas basically saying this is a 25-22 game, 24-21. Denver, hopefully the Bears can flip that and win this game. But, man, it is telling that a team that gave up 70 points last week is still a road favorite in your crib. That is not where you want to be. So predict the score. Bears, Broncos at Soldier Field on Sunday. Who's going to win and what is the final score going to be? Go ahead and let us know. And I told you guys last week that I would not, or after the Chiefs game, that I would not pick this team to win a game until they can prove it to me. I'm not going to do it here. Broncos win 27-20. I just do not trust this Bears coaching staff. I don't trust Justin Fields right now. The defense stinks. Like, it's all bad. So I think they have a chance to win this game because Denver's struggling too, but at least in 2 of their games, they had a real chance of winning. The Bears have really not had a single chance of winning so far this season. So until they can prove to me that they do have a chance, give me the Broncos to win 27-20. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm not sure that I am. All right, guys, appreciate it. We'll have videos throughout the week here on Chicago Bears Now. Hit that sub button. Hang in there. We'll have you guys covered on a day-to-day basis. And, of course, we'll be live on Sunday at 10:45 a.m. Central Time for pregame of Bears versus Broncos.